if you don't hunt, it's hard to understand why someone would find joy in killing other things. But the thing you have to understand is that it's not about killing things, at least not really. That's not why it's enjoyable.
My name is Ben Holbrook. I'm a writer, primarily. I do photography, I do all kinds of other things too.
Fuck, did I miss it?
When I think about hunting from a class perspective, I think about either like lower class white people or very, very upper class white people. Like no in between, you know?
Why do I want to share hunting with people? I want to share hunting with people because there are so many misconceptions in the world about hunting. I want to share hunting with people in particular like Ben because hunting has been so heavily dominated by white people of a certain class.
There's just a really long history of negative associations with the woods, especially when it comes to lynching, and because of the prominence of that type of really like terrorism and intimidation and murder, a lot of people don't associate the woods, associate with the woods and the outdoors as a place where you're safe, you know?
Yeah.
There's no middle class hunting aspiration that I grew up with. It was seen as like a very, country music, like exclusory activity. Went to get the hunting license yesterday. And the guy who sold it to us was wearing a Confederate flag hat, you know?
I know. I was thinking that the whole time. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Hunting is a lens through which you can observe class dynamics anywhere you go. Okay, it's a beautiful day in late October. We are in Jersey City, just outside of Manhattan. I am just about to head out to go pick up my guy for the day, Ben. The bucks are getting going, and we have great weather. It's cool weather, clear, high pressure. All signs point to a very exciting evening tonight. Now, what made you curious to go hunting? Was it just because I said, "Hey, man, do you want to go?" Or was it already something that you were thinking?
It's something I've
been
thinking about. My best friend's a hunter. I've always been curious about it, and I think at some point I told myself that
Picture from there?
I'd want to do it. I think for a while I was not into the idea, but the more I thought about it, the more I kind of came around.
Yeah.
The first crazy thing to me was that we parked outside of the neighborhood. You know, we were in like a fairly suburban area. That connected the dots for me about where deer are, because I remember them hopping through my neighborhood growing up. I just didn't connect the dots that you could also hunt there. Then we got into the area where we were gonna actually hunt, and it was my first time. I don't even know what you call it, the framing that you put up in the trees. It's my first time sitting on something like that. So actually seeing Fisher climb the tree, set up the makeshift ladder pieces to climb up and get up into the area where we would be sitting up in the trees to look around. It was wow, we're gonna be high up. This isn't anything really like any movie you've ever seen, because in most movies you see a hunter and he's sneaking through the bushes and stuff like that.
This is synthetic deer pee.
Yeah.
I'm using synthetic because it's not going to potentially spread disease here. Try not to break sticks. Also try to avoid brushing against brush, because the deer can smell it where we've come through.
Let's get this tree stand. We're in the middle of it, so they could kind of come from anywhere. A lot of times they might come out of this thick stuff right in front of you, right? So you want to actually, as you're sitting there, you want to have that bow just resting on your lap, so that if a deer pops out
out of nowhere. You don't have very much movement to make.
It was a long wait. We were up there for a few hours. Maybe 2 hours, maybe 3 hours, maybe longer. It definitely, the minutes ticked by and I started to get sleepy for sure. Because I didn't sleep the night before at all. So I was sitting up in there like, keeping an eye out. Most of what we heard was squirrels, which was, I never felt like thwarted by squirrels that way before, because you're listening really intently for a deer. And then you hear something, you look over and it's just the same squirrels just fucking with you, just messing with you. I think it was the buck that came first. That was when everything kind of got like a little more tense. Like I sat up a little bit. I wouldn't call it a panic shot, but it was a premature shot.
I'm not sure how good the hit is. You definitely hit him.
I thought I did too. Felt like I hit him right in the chest.
I think he's dead. You want to wait for him to turn broadside, though.
Because I shot him head on. Like chest shot. It wasn't from the angle I was supposed to hit. This guy disappeared. We didn't know where he went. So he was gone.
It's possible if you were off to the side a little bit, it might not have been good, but he looked hurt. I think he's probably dead. I just don't know with 100% certainty.
Another deer came along 30 minutes to an hour afterwards, I would say. Like another deer cropped up. It was starting to get a little dim out. So we wanted to go ahead and wrap it up, but this deer was kind of an amazing opportunity. Fuck yeah. It took a while, but they all started coming around.
Right, you're done shooting for tonight.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, I'll get down actually first and try and get a look at the blood. That first deer and find the spot.
Okay. Holy shit, man. First we went, and so this was the part that was the truest education for me. It's what happens after you kill a deer, which is the worst part. And also like the part that really makes you earn it. It's what you do afterwards that I think is like the real lesson. And we had to track this thing. So the first deer that had disappeared, we were like over bushes, around trees, following its blood trail around 100 yards. So it's a football field away. And that's when you realize, oh, a deer isn't like a 50-pound animal you can throw over your shoulders. No, they're very heavy. Their limp bodies are very awkward to pull out of the woods. And it's really hard because you're pulling them over roots, under trees, they're getting stuck on things. Your body starts to hurt. And then you realize, oh, there's another deer. So cut open the deer for the first time, and that smell wafts into your face. And honestly, it's not a terrible smell. It's an off-putting smell because it's the inside of something, but it smells a lot like grass. You know, it has the smell of grass plus that irony smell of blood mixed together. It's a weird smell. It's something I've never smelled before, but it is very different. But it's not bad.
That was quite the evening.
It's quite the day. It's a really intense experience, you know?
I do know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially those moments right before you pull the trigger. But I was just like, well, it felt like when I got my first tattoo, that kind of like adrenaline high that just kind of puts you in this weird headspace. I don't think anything will ever get you as present and aware. I mean, this is a weird thing to say, but like present and aware that you're alive than taking the life of another living thing.
Yeah, man.
Something that I connected the dots with later, after the fact, was that to go along with the storytelling and the theater that I equate with being one of the oldest aspects of humanity, so is hunting. In fact, so much of the art we made at the dawn of humanity is about hunting.
Telling the story of what happened to you that day in the woods, even if you weren't successful, sometimes, especially if you weren't successful, is the most important, the most satisfying part.
The old stories that people would probably tell around the fire was about the biggest drama in their lives, and the biggest drama was the hunt. Did you get something? Did you not get something? How long did it take you to chase this thing down? And like coming back from hunting, you kind of understand it because it's dramatic. You know, there's such high stakes for everybody involved. Yeah, it didn't feel strange or off-putting or foreign to me. It felt like something extremely human. And then getting home or back to Fisher's place and skinning it and sectioning it and cooking it, grinding some of the meat, like, that felt even more human. Because that's what we did. We talked about the day. We told the stories. And then we cooked around, a grill, and we ate the food, and it was awesome. I think that's it.